program, Mbadiwe Kenneth Onyeka, the CEO of Success City Real Estate.
It's the HBS show with lessons, the spring of dance, history behind success of your role model.
You're looking so good.
Thank you.
What's the secret of this, your handsomeness?
What will I say? The secret of the handsomeness. Healthy living. Healthy living.
It's good. So,
And the joy of it.
yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Once again, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
How was your growing up life?
Like I was always saying, my growing up was not your matter. It's for me, it's a mixture of discipline, flexible tendencies given by parents. I had a strict dad. I had a mom, a business mom that's flexible sometimes. But having grown up, I think I appreciate the both, appreciate the mix. But that was not there with the discipline. That was good. And if my mother was not there to provide the flexibility at some point, maybe I would have just been one hard-hearted young man that doesn't laugh, smile with anybody. So that's the story of me.
So, you tell us about your educational background.
Oh, my educational background. I went to the primary school. I attended Kind Beginning Military Primary School, Kogi State, Kenya, Kogi State, Okiawa. From there, I proceeded to St. Clements and Secretariat for 6 years.
Wow.
There, I was supposed to go to the police. And then a pastor taught me this speech. That's Pastor Tony Kennedy.
Okay.
And that was how I started studying it. I attended the University of Christian. And currently, I'm still doing another BSc National University in economics. I want to make sure it's one of the how to take my mission. So that's been that is national history.
Okay, that's fine. You said your mom is so flexible with her rules and all that. Can you just give us one scenario?
Okay, my dad is this one that will tell you that by 6 o'clock, if I don't see you in the house, you are in trouble. So my mom will always be that one that you can call by 6:30 when you already know you are in trouble, and tell her to position herself close to my dad, so that when you want to flog you, you can see somebody that will say, "Don't
It's
kill my
okay.
child, don't kill my child," you know. So that is then sometimes those days you'll be praying that my dad travels, because it's only when he travels
You have
you know
freedom.
you have freedom to go outside and play small, because mommy will not say come back by 6. Mommy will not flog you or beat you even if you come back by 7. Not like my mom was not strict or disciplined,
Okay.
but she understands that you beat with a rod and then you will draw with the staff. And then my mom understands that very well. But and for my dad too, I would say he was playing his role. Because if you leave me, I would almost say I'm going to use the same template for my children. But I think it will now be more refined than that of my dad, because now I understand that there are times I should just sit with my children and engage with them, talk with them, listen to them, know their concerns and all of that, because of what I know. And so that's why I don't blame my dad. He acted according to what he knows at that time. But now we know better. We know that if we continue with that rod, just the rod,
Message.
we will grow children that are not love and kind. But when we balance it and know when to talk up to them, it's like I won't lie to you, I never heard I love you
Oh yeah.
for one day. My dad never told me. My dad never even told me well done. My dad kept on making me feel like he's
You're
not
not doing
doing anything.
anything.
And somehow I see that in my life today. My staff will even tell you. They don't say it to my face, but I know. They feel that they will never do anything that
So
will inspire me.
satisfied.
So, but they don't understand that somehow, I would say it was upbringing. There's nothing you want to do that will be okay. I want you more. So I can keep telling you you can do better. So that's it.
All right. So, what gave you the passion into real estate development?
Real estate, I never, in my wildest imagination, ever thought of it. As a matter of fact, Nigerian movie has made us believe that anything that has to do with land has to be diabolical. That was the perception I held about land and all of that. And then I thought anybody doing land will be a very strong, diabolic, occultic person. Not until one day. Okay, let me say in one word what pushed me into real estate was being broke. I was very broke. When I say broke, at that time people would even be thinking, it's only me that made the car in broke. It's one of the things I wish I could. One of the messages I wish I could propagate for every young person to do is don't deceive yourself. Don't deceive yourself. People can deceive you somehow, but you know who you are. Tell yourself the truth. So I have tried different businesses. Then one day, just put myself in no saying, I've done this one, I've done this one. And there was a day somebody wrote to me on Facebook saying, what do you do? Don't do me. So that dawned on me that man, people don't know me for it. And I will hear my pastor now, Pastor Ikonika, will always say, when I mention Michael Jordan, what will you say? You say basketball. When I mention Okocha, what will you say? You say football. So when I mention your name, what will people say? I kept striking a chord. And then one day, the lady just called me and said, Ken, you know, because I'm an entertainer. I was an entertainer. I'm still an entertainer anyways, but it's not my major any longer. So a lady called me and said, Ken, you know people, you know how to talk, you're very influential in the church. Why not come into real estate? In my mind, I said, what am I doing with real estate? One, they're looking for who they will keep. I was okay with my every Saturday and Sunday gigs. And I wanted to just continue with my gig because I was seeing money from the gig.
Yeah.
And then she was like, come into real estate, you will make it. She said, just pay 1,650 and you join real estate. And then 1,650. Because of that amount, which is a psychological damage that has been done to us as Nigerians. Because she said 1,650, I felt what am I 1,650? What are I doing here? I'm paying 1,650. I was expecting to hear like 500,000, 200,000. I would shout. So I just gave her 1,650 and I just relaxed. Just one Saturday, she added me to a group, collected my data and all of that. One Saturday, I think it was my birthday or a day to my birthday. It was in the month of May. I was on bed just reminiscing on life, and the next time I saw in the group somebody posted an alert, 1 million something, said it was commission.
For you?
Not for me.
Okay.
The commission that the person got for selling property. And then the next thing is the same lady that was telling me to come into the business posted 500 and something and said it was her indirect commission.
Wow.
But because she referred the person that bought the property. So immediately the Igbo man in me
Came
was
out.
awoken. And I said, what? 500,000 just
Just
for
like that.
referring somebody. That was how I ran from my house that Saturday. It was a Saturday. And I ran to her house. Right there in her house, she taught me real estate. I didn't know the office. I didn't know the company name very well. I didn't have much information. All I just know that was she said, if you refer somebody to come and buy the land, they will pay you. Just tell the person to come. That was how I left her house with a flyer with my phone number on it. I went to show you how much this lady believed in me. I went to my dry cleaner. Immediately I finished talking to my dry cleaner, Michael. Michael made a commitment of 100,000 euros. To buy. And that was how the journey into real estate started. That was how I started marketing people. Come on. By the time Michael paid 100,000, I've not seen the land. I don't know where it is. But just that holy anger, that positive anger of if this person can make this money, this lady, then I can do it. That was the anger that took me out. And just from there, started selling. Before I got the first 10 persons that were subscribed, and I was getting commission. My phone was just ringing with alerts, and it was very sweet. I said, wow, so this thing is like this. That was how I took it to the next level. Went to the office, got acquainted with them. They started bringing people, referring people, my cousins, my family, people. I was just referring people, those abroad and in Nigeria. Just come and buy land, and people were trusting me in my church. People were buying. I was the youth leader in church that time too, so people were just buying. And that was how one day, just praying in the house, I was just stepping on the phone to go and eat at ShopRite. And as I got to Summit Junction, something just told me enter into a room. I'm not thinking of go and look. The man whose property I have been selling since that doesn't know me, and I know him. I
Oh,
met him at the street. So I was like, "Sir, let me pay for it." He said, "Do you have money?" I said, "Yes." And I knew how he was seeing me then, this small boy, which is ugly to everybody. He said, "Sir, let me pay for your food." And he just looked at me and said, "Do you know me?" I said, "Yes, I know you. I'm a member of your company." Because of that, the other wanted to stop me, said they should leave me. Then he paid for our food, he got his own and my own, and he dropped out.
hmm.
Then the next thing he said he wants to open a branch in the airport. He needs somebody to manage. I said, "Sir, here I am
Wow.
sending." And immediately, just like that, the man asked me to take it. Gave me his bag. I followed him round the whole outside everywhere he went that day to the bank. He got to the office, he just clean interview for me. No much talk. He just asked me when is your birthday. I said my birthday is May 20th. Fortunately for me, his own was May 20th.
Wow.
So the whole thing just clicked. And he said, "I'm sending you to the airport. Go and do this, go and do this, go and do this." God bless my pastor. So he trained me so well. And because of that training, the moment he said, "Go and do this," I didn't waste time. I said, "Sir, I can do it." Leadership. I started moving around, fixing the place. It was effort. That was how I started. Gave you a car, gave you phone, gave you laptop, gave you everything I wanted. That was how I started the business. And I worked with him for 5 years.
Wow.
5 years. I gave him 5 years of it. I even had to move from here to Kano, to Chicken, come and invest. I moved from here to Agbo, from here to Bonner. That was how I became the first manager and started the company, which I began success. And this is what
Wow.
we
All right, in case you are just joining us, it is HBS Show with Lesson, and my guest is the CEO of Success City Real Estate. Don't forget to subscribe and like our YouTube page, HBS Show with Lesson. Sit back. We'll be right back.
It's the HBS show with lesson, the spring of dance. History behind success of your role model. It's the HBS show with lesson, the spring of dance. History behind success of your role model.
Good to know that you're still there. Welcome back to the program. You're still on the program HBS Show with Lesson. Just before the break, our guest on the program, by the way, Kenneth Onyeka, said that he heard his pastor preaching, saying that if he calls the name of one person, you tell him who that person is. For example, Okocha or Chipola. Then, when he mentions your own name, what will they say you are doing? And that one word from the pastor kept him moving. And today, there you are. So, tell us about how Success City, the name came out.
Success City. The name Success City. If you allow me, I will say Success City in through two different ways. One, it was divine, but then two, it was also inspired. Why I said divine is yes, because I had to present it to God to be sure that this name is what we should go with. But the second thing is that I heard somebody say something that relates to that, and I began to think deep into it when the name dropped. So I would say it started from there, but at the same time, there was a divine inspiration. So that was how the name came about, Success City. I prayed to God and I told God I want a name people will hear and fall in love even before they meet the brand. And I can tell you that that has been my experience with the name Success City. So many times people don't even know me, but they love the name. I've heard people countless times walking through this office. A lady in particular, one woman that sold about 8 plots for us, doesn't know me from anywhere. She said one of the reasons she's working with this company is because of the name. That she likes the name Success City. So how did it come about? Divine. You asked me to say divine inspiration. It's God given name. It's been a blessing.
Okay, we have heard that there are lots of challenges in real estate. So there are a lot of challenges, there are lots of ups and downs. But here you are, you kept pushing, you kept moving, overcoming those challenges. Can you share with us those experiences?
Real estate, the truth, has so many challenges, no doubt. When I was in the school of real estate, one of the most striking things they taught us in the school, the lecturer said that if when you're going into real estate, there are three things you should have in mind. Number one, that you are either going into trouble, coming out of trouble, or trouble is waiting for you. And so the real estate is not a business for the weak. So yes, there are challenges, but I think the challenge is not peculiar to real estate only. There are challenges in every business. Just that of real estate can be so complex that sometimes if you are faint-hearted, you can even give up. What are some of the challenges in real estate? The most, um, the most, or the major challenge that can disintegrate anyone that's into real estate is buying a land that is buying a land that has either government interest, or buying a land that has litigation, or buying a land that has communal crisis on it, all of that. So this is the major challenge with real estate business. That is that for land. Then if it's maybe you are into the housing part of real estate,
Okay, before the housing part, how will you know that this land does not have those
problems,
challenge? Because the community people will give it to you and say that it's free.
it's free. Yeah.
There is no issue and all that.
Yeah.
So how will you know?
This is supposed to be taught in master class, but anyways, okay. So you as a person who wants to go into real estate and reduce, or let's say mitigate challenge to the barest minimum, there are things required of you.
Okay.
And this is why a lot of persons get into trouble with real estate. However, let me also say this: you can be so careful and still have those challenges, some of those challenges, but it can be compared to that of the person who did not do some of the things I want to say now.
Okay.
There is something called due diligence in real estate. In fact, it's virtually in everything you want to do, but we hold it so dearly in real estate, due diligence. There are several due diligences that must be conducted if you want to engage in any real estate transaction. We have the administrative due diligence, we have the legal due diligence, we have the environmental due diligence, we have the government due diligence, and so many other due diligence you need to conduct. You can't want to buy a land, for example, in any city in Nigeria and you don't go with a surveyor. It is a surveyor that sees the land or sees the property and tells you that this land is free from government interest. He charts it. There's something called charting. When he sees a property, he picks and charts and tell you, okay, government wants to build this here, government wants to build that here, government has already acquired this place for their use. So there is a government interest on it, or it is free from government interest. So if you don't do this due diligence, somebody can even sell airports to you and you will buy, and you won't know because you did not do your due diligence. And then when a property has been surveyed and there are documents on it, the onus is on you again to do a document due diligence by going to the Ministry of Lands and Survey to confirm the documents that was given to you. Every document that was properly registered must have uh, 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 the statistics must be with the ministry. So you go there, you confirm, you pay, they do a search on the place for you, and then they give you a feedback, tell you whether it's free from encumbrances or not. So these are some of the due diligences. Then, so what we call the street due diligence. You can also get into the environment, ask questions. Sometimes, like my father will always say, that whatever it is that bike men don't know, anything in a community that bike men don't know, then you should be careful. So you can do those street due diligence. Ask the neighbors around the property you want to buy, ask the bricklayers, ask the community person there. And that's why we always advocate that people should understand human relationship, know how to treat people right. Don't think because you are too big and you want to know that even the common village boy or girl you are seeing can save you from a trouble that will cost you a lot. So these are the few things you can do to save you from the land banana. That's how I would say it.
So tell us about the home.
Okay, now for the homes, the same thing too
Okay.
should be done. I've seen somebody who bought a house, didn't know that the house has structural defects. So when you want to buy a house, you should at least engage the services of structural engineers. Get your engineer to go to site, check the building. There's a lifespan for some of these things. So they might have outstayed their lifespan and you don't know, and the person just wants to dump it on you and move out. So these are the things that you put into consideration when you want to buy a house. So you get your engineer to come and check out the place for you, make sure that everything is okay and good before you enter into negotiation. Then you verify the documents that comes with the house too, to be sure that you're buying from the rightful owner. Then you ask questions so that it doesn't happen that the owners of the house or the building are in war, serious family crisis. They're now using it to settle their family fights and tired. Sometimes they will take time. So very important.
Okay. Can you tell us one of the challenges you've had since you started this, and
Okay.
how were you able to overcome it?
Yes, I've had several challenges. One, I've had the challenge of community. I remember the first estate I bought in Ebonyi State. I've done my plotting and everything, and after the allocation, only for my clients to take possession, I got the information that the entire worker done on the site has been destroyed. I went, I spent money redoing it again. They came back again the third time and still scattered it. And as I speak to you, they are still in court till today. Not myself and themselves, but the both communities that are fighting are in court. So I'm waiting for them to settle so that I can take possession. But what's the effect of that to me now? My clients cannot access their land. And in that case, some will start demanding for a refund of the money. Some will start accusing you that you sold a fake land to them, or a land that is not genuine, when it is not actually your challenge. But I know in this case, you will ask me, why didn't I do like this? I did. I got all the members of the family to sign. So it was somebody from another community that claimed that they are part of the family.
Okay.
And we didn't see these people when we were doing all the negotiation, when we were signing, because my lawyer had to call everybody that needs to sign to come. They didn't come. And we possessed this property for as long as 6 months before this. That was why I told you that you can even be
Yes,
very,
yes,
very careful and still have challenges
yes.
because they can just come up. So that's one of the challenges we face. Which other challenge that we face? The challenge of kidnapping.
Mm.
It's also there in the business. You know, there was a day, as a matter of fact, I didn't even want my staff then to hear this that time. They left site, and it was in the same area somebody was kidnapped. So as a leader, I didn't want to bring it to them so that I don't demoralize them. So what I just did was I called a meeting. I said, we need to get pepper spray, we need to get knife, we need to get this thing, we need to secure ourselves, not because anything will happen, but just in case. But I didn't want to tell them that somebody has been kidnapped because I know it's going to send in a lot of fears into them. So kidnapping is also a challenge that we are facing.
Because you are entering
The bush, and you don't know who you're going to meet there, you don't know who is waiting for you there, and all of that. Even though I can tell you that we've enjoyed divine protection, we've enjoyed divine protection. So most times these things happen before or happen after we have. It has never been our portion, but it's a challenge because we are not excited that it's happening for other people. We want it to not even happen. And we also have the challenge with marketers. So marketers can be so manipulative, some can be so demanding and wanting you to do the whole work for them. So these are a few challenges we faced. We don't have much besides for next 2 years. So that's how far we come with challenges. How did we solve them? Wisdom.
Wow.
Wisdom. Deploying the right people, the right systems, and the right strategies for resolution. Like that of the plant now. My lawyer is already helping me. I've been getting good reports from him. That of the marketers, communication, effective communication, care, kindness. That's what I would not have been using. That's why I said it's wisdom. And then for the kidnapping case too, wisdom, getting a first spray, getting all the things you need. At some point you know how to secure yourself, how to take yourself.
That's true. All right. So you are still a youth, and I've heard stories that some persons will say that it's the friends, the kind of friends they keep that made them to go astray and all of that. By the grace of God, look at where you are today. So how were you able to choose your friends?
Like I said, I had disciplinarian father. I had a very disciplined father. And that, for me, is one of the biggest blessings. Father is an ex-trainer.
Wow.
So that was one of the biggest blessings of my life. Father is strict. Father is disciplined. My father is committed. For me, that was what helped me. One of the things my father inoculated in us was being intentional at all. Father taught us how to know what we want, onset, stay focused at it. There is anything I'm going to miss my father for if he fulfills his years on earth and it's the fact that he left legacies that were worth more than money. One of them is what I'm talking about, being intentional. I was intentional from childhood. I knew where I was headed to. As at the age of 10, I already believed I was going to be very good. Wow. When and how was what I didn't know. Yeah. But I already had it in mind. I started treating myself as a king from then. Yeah. In primary school those days, my classmates will tell you, I started leading from primary school. I started leading. I love to always lead because I know who I am and where I'm going to. I don't even like to be at the back. I'm not the type that you come for a program, you want to dance, like I want to sit in the front. So it was intentionality. And so it affected every other area of my life. 7 years before I married, I already wrote the kind of wife I want to be. Everything you're seeing around society today was documented before they started happening. I'm confident from this. Some of the things we do are the things I say to them before they happen. I'll tell them this place where we are, where we have our office now, I said it before we came here. I said we're going to have a place where we'll be alone. We'll have everything we want. Our kitchen, our board's quarter, our staff will be living there, our cars will be parked inside, we'll have training hall, I said it, and it's intentionality. And so for friends, when it comes to friends, I was intentional about friends too. So I never had anything to do with friends who were not going to where I was going. Though they can surround me, there's a difference between people surrounding you and people being in your circle. So I'm very, let me say, I understand social cue. I know how to relate with anybody and everybody because I know I need it to also advance my cause. Because my cause is not just for me and a few persons, it should bless anybody. So, but I'm intentional about the people I bring into myself, people I call my friends. Like I can tell you for free, this is not to malign those who don't do what I do, but I said this for a reason. If you check out 4 persons, I will mention their names and tell you these people are my friends. You will literally see me in the 4 of them. If you look like the 4 of us are the same thing. They don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't womanize, and they are very focused with what they do. If I call 4 persons and say this person are my friends, if you go, you will see it. It's not like we don't have the ability to do all these things. It's not like we can't do them. But because, like scripture will say, it says Jesus, for the price set before him, he endured the cross. Because of the price and where we are going to, we know there are things we need to leave and not do. It's going to be the price that we will pay. You can't find me in the club. You can't find me in some kind of thing, some kind of gatherings. No matter how good the gathering is, you won't find me there. Not because they are not good, and I don't have anything against people who do it. And I say it with all sincerity. I hold nothing against those who drink, those who smoke, except you know that it is destroying you and you're still doing it, then I will say you are a fool. But if you understand moderation and you are doing them moderately, I don't have a problem. My elder brother drinks, for example. I don't have a problem with him because it does not make him misbehave. He has moderation with it. He will sit here, he will talk to you, you will know that this is a wise man. So that's that for me. So I was intentional about friends. I had friends who were motivating me, who were inspiring me. I had friends who were going the same route like I was going. I had friends who were very focused. I had friends so at every point in my life when I had the ones who were not going in this place, it didn't take time to know that these ones are not friends. So I just do everything possible to disconnect as fast as I can. Even when they don't want to disconnect, I find a way to stir up challenge and to disconnect. So that's that for me. Yes.
All right, so tell us, how did you meet your beautiful wife?
Would I want to share this one? Meeting my wife was divine. Okay. Like I said, I already had what I wanted and the kind of woman I wanted. And let me say this. I was supposed to marry somebody. It was like, I think 4 days or 5 days to introduction. And she told me she didn't want to carry on. That was how that one came. But something happened. Something striking. I wasn't. Sorry to say. I wasn't. Yeah, and I'll tell you what. All the while I was dating, I never stood on my feet to pray about the relationship. I met her in church. Everything was going well. We were very okay. So I felt this was just the will of God. There's no need disturbing God again on if this person should be the one. So we were just rolling. We had healthy communication, healthy friendship, everything. She's not a bad person. I need me to say that. She wasn't, till today, she wasn't a bad person to me. But we were not meant for each other. Somebody can be good, but not meant for me.
That's true.
Though she fits the qualities I wanted in a woman. But I knew there was a place I was compromising.
Okay.
So I'm sure God saw my heart. And God also saw her heart that she too was trying to compromise.
Yeah.
And God said, though the both of you are good, but I want to make you happy. Marry the kind of persons that you want. And guess what? She married the kind of man she wanted.
Wow.
And I married the kind of man. And we are both.
So tell us, how did you meet?
So I met my wife through like I said, it's divine.
Mm.
Like me, I don't want. I said I want to make my decision because I already know what I want. So when he just sends my wife's picture to me, he said, just look at this. He said, okay, maybe I'll send it. That's the first time I accepted the recommendation. And she sent me. From the first time I started talking to the girl, who that was going
Wow. From the first day.
the first week, let me not say first day,
Okay,
that
the
first
first
week,
week.
we spoke. I told her, if my wife was here, she would tell you. I think that was why when she was seeing that movie, Love in Every Word, she just sent me a message and said, this is you. From the first week, I told her I'm going to marry you because there were things I wanted to hear. I didn't have to see them. The Bible says we know no man by the flesh.
Yeah.
By the Spirit we connect. If you see the person that has it, you know.
You know.
So when she spoke to me, babe, marry me. So I would say I toasted my wife for 2 days. She accepted the third. Because she too knew that there's no need turning around. This is the kind of woman.
Yeah.
She couldn't even contain her own. At the point she told me, you're so sweet.
Wow.
And I like everything you're saying. Because we started talking the first day, second day, third day when she accepted. The fourth day, because I was intentional, I already planned my life.
Yeah.
My life is planned
already.
From that time I met her to 2027. By 2027 now, I'll start another 10 years plan.
Yeah.
So I just rolled out the plan to her. I said that this and this and this and this is what I want. These are many kids I want to have. This is what I'm going to do for you. This is what I'm going to give birth to my first child. My first child is going to be a girl. Second is going to be a boy. This is the name of my first daughter, Carissa. This is the name of my first son, Giovanni. I've already started doing things for them. Their insurance, I'm already paying their insurance. I told her everything I wanted. There was nothing she needed to convince her. She knew that this is an intentional man. And that's how we started. And today, come to marriage.
Wow.
True to it. Married her.
Wow. Wow, so lovely. So, before we go, your advice to the youth, because whole lot is happening in the youth kingdom. So, the word of advice.
There are principles you must abide by. And then you can now deploy your own gotten the principles right. But if you think you have method and you want to defy principle, even your method will not. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like a man saying, I want to have babies, but I don't want to sleep with a woman. How do you want to do it? And principle is that a man and a woman must meet.
Yes.
Whether even if you want to do surrogate, your sperm must be taken, egg will be taken, and somebody will be given to carry. Yes. So no matter what you want to do, there must be that process. That's the principle for reproduction. So I'm saying to every young person now, be intentional, understand principles. Right? A man who doesn't have God, the master's principle, will succeed. But the difference between now having God and knowing principle is that they will do less and have more.
Wow.
That's just it. So that's why I will say hold God and understand principles. But if you have principles, even if you don't know God, you succeed. That's why even an atheist is wealthy. That's why even an unbeliever can be wealthy. Because the devil gives material blessing. Everybody can be blessed in different ways. Devil can bless you with God. God can bless you. But when there is God, there is peace, there is joy, there is longevity, simplicity. And this is what you will not find in other places. So my advice to the young people out there, hold God first, and then you go for principle. Stand the principles right, and then be intentional. Plan your life and intention.
Thank you so much for your time on this program. We've really learned a lot. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, we've come to the end of the program. Our guest has been Mbadiwe Kenneth Onyeka. You heard what he just said. Intentional and with God. With God, you can get to anywhere in life. You are sure of success and peace with God. But if you go the other way around, I don't know what to say. All right, don't forget to like our YouTube channel and subscribe to HBS Show with Lesson. Know that you had a short time on today's episode. Keep a date with us next week for a fresh message.